'tis the season to be jolly because the With Love Meghan holiday celebration is Netflix announcing to the world we are done with the fake Duchess and her balding husband. I have never witnessed something so toe-curling, so bum-clenchingly fake and horrific, so hypocritical too. And the great news is, because this is the last time we're ever going to have to do this, trust me, I have assembled my royal crack team and we have watched every damn second of this Christmas hellscape so you don't have to. There they are, the Sidley Twins. P-Dina and Lauren, the insider, will be here. We are picking over the carcasses of Meghan's failed TV career so you don't have to. First, some of the lowlights. As the Royal Grift pointed out, the most exciting part out of the special is Harry's cameo appearance. It's bizarre to hear Meghan thank Harry for showing up to her fake house and fake kitchen. Given that this was filmed last year before Guy passed away, we can assume the entire thing is an act. Supposedly, Meghan's holiday tradition is cell block Doria making gumbo on Christmas Eve. Apparently, the only time out of the year this happens. Watch.
There's some buzz around. This is my husband.
And of course, Harry did fulfill his contractual obligation to turn up as Meghan pretended that the crew just love her. Watch.
Here we go. Here's my friend. A nice clinking glasses. Oh, yes, indeed. Thanks, everybody. Well done.
You're such a fraud.
And the Salmonella Sussex nickname, that's going to stick because, as TRG pointed out, you nasty Meghan, take off your rings before getting all that gunk in between those diamonds. Salmonella and E. coli are probably rife in those crevices. Watch.
My elementary school math teacher, Miss Linda, she loved this. And I felt so excited that she loved something that I made. Oh my gosh.
You're such a fraud.
Pass me the sick bucket. But look, in all seriousness, what is worse than anything else when it comes to this special is the fact that we are meant to buy into the idea that Meghan Markle loves her holiday celebrations because of the memories, because of the nostalgia, because of her family. Indeed, when she's decorating a Christmas tree, really bad, by the way, it looks bare and ugly, she says, in one area in your life, you're really able to encapsulate your family story, really feel the passage of time and the different chapters of your life through the ornaments. And ladies, I was thinking about that as I was watching. And I thought, did one ornament have a picture of the Queen, the late Queen Elizabeth II, with the note saying, I brought this woman's life to an end prematurely? Did the other ornament have a picture of her father, stuck, barren, in a flat in the Philippines? I mean, seriously, the complete tone deafness of her shtick is quite extraordinary to see, P-Dina.
The problem with Meghan is we know her story, so that when she goes to put out a display that is supposed to encapsulate her life, her family, and she doesn't mention the obvious things that we already know, we know she's lying. And we feel how fake it all is. And she doesn't come off well, that she can't even, for the sake of the time for forgiving, for coming together with family, for the sake of that, even for your show, you can't even show some kind of gratitude towards your father, who we all know. It's not like he's someone that's obscure to us. We know Thomas Markle. We've heard from him. He is looking for you. He wants you to call him. The fact that you can't even at this time put his name on this advents calendar or say anything about him shows how cold, how insincere you are, how disconnected you are to what really matters. And we resent it and we don't like you for it, Meghan, because you're not being authentic, but you want to perpetrate that you are. Girl, it is a lie. Get to stepping, okay? That's what I say.
100% P-Dina. Well, actually, having seen that moment with the Christmas tree, Meghan's mole posted this video and said, "Call your father, Meg." Watch.
I just said to your mother that if I don't see you on a regular basis, I don't recognize you.
That was nice.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Nancy and Stephanie, sometimes I think it is just worth reminding everyone, isn't it? This was a loving and caring relationship between father and daughter. You see the way Meghan looks at her dad. You see Thomas proud as punch. And she has the cheek to talk about nostalgia for everything, I guess, but the blood relative who actually raised her.
Well, that video speaks volumes when she's passing her dad and he's recording it. That's how we were with our parents when we would come out of doing a show from high school. When you see a parent and they're the loving parents and the nurturing parents, yeah, you go, "Hey, Dad, what's up? Now I'm going to go say hi to uncle and aunt, whoever, because I don't see them a lot." The way she greets her mom is like she hasn't seen her mom in a while. And her grandfather, barely recognized her. It just goes to show you not close with her mom. That her response to her dad right here. That's the exact response. Dad, come on,
Dad,
put down the recorder for 5 seconds.
Yeah,
Come on.
And we're gonna go home later tonight together.
Yeah, like I get it, Dad. But here with her mom, it looks like she hasn't hugged her mom in a week. Like it just, there's your proof right there that this was a loving dad. And she didn't even trim that tree. She was explaining something about the lights, how she was putting the lights in the back, but she wouldn't actually show us or tell us how she did it. So that she wasn't even trimming that tree. That whole thing was so freaking fake.
And the advent calendar that she was putting messages into, she
Like
was
the bananas.
"You're so kind, you're so brave." And yeah,
I love you because you're so
I love you because you're all these things. But it's like she's leaving these messages in the advent calendar with her crazy calligraphy writing. It's almost like the Zodiac killer leaving something in, once a day.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah,
like, okay,
yeah.
it's there's nothing nice about it
Yeah.
and Christmassy about it.
Yeah, very Zodiac.
Can I make a reference to that though? I loved it when Naomi, "Oh, we're writing again."
Yeah.
That's all she did the whole time. "Oh, we're writing again." Like
Oh.
everything was
Oh
writing.
my God, I
handwriting.
know. I know. And I'm going to get to that because, good Lord, there was some terrible interactions between Ms. Markle and her hapless guests. But Lauren Lunn Farrow, host of the Insider channel on YouTube, I do believe that this is Netflix making it very clear that we are witnessing the end of Meghan's TV career. No effort has been made here. Actually, she comes across much worse in this one episode than she did in the entire previous 2 series. Let's be honest, 1 series cut into 2. It's over, isn't it? It's done. A very quick but personal message from me to you to let you know that the best way you can support Dan Wootton Outspoken is to subscribe to my Substack at www.outspoken.live. Substack is a free speech platform that protects me from big tech cancellation and lawfare. Paid annual or monthly subscribers get an extra hour of content with the Royal Uncancelled After Show available every weekday with no advertising whatsoever. You can also message me direct on there. That's www.outspoken.live.
It is done. And also, this was filmed so long ago. So Guy, the dog that died in January, he made an appearance. So he's either back from the dead or this was filmed well over a year ago. And everything about this series was so out of touch. What I find makes my blood boil is these types of shows, you don't see many people doing them anymore because people understand the world and families are facing really hard economic challenges. And it just puts more and more pressure on parents who are having to make choices. Whether do you feed the children or do you pay your heating bill? And I really hate the fakery around this. Everyone involved in this show genuinely looked like they didn't want to be there. And she even baked her fake friends pears for brunch. If I did that to my friends, they'd be furious. They'd say, "Where's the bacon sandwich?" They'd be off.
And my God, it looked utterly revolting, didn't it? Okay, well, look, let's get specifically to the content, because this dude called Will Guidara turns up. He has written a book called Unreasonable Hospitality. And Meghan uses this moment to say, there's nothing more stressful than watching a stressed out hostess. And I'm like, bitch, this is how we feel, okay? Because you're just putting us through watching you, the most stressed out, miserable hostess I've ever seen. And this dude, Will, is a unique type of conceited guest. And I have to say, I mean, it is somewhat miraculous he has a wife. You know, he's on the camp scale of Daniel, the makeup artist, but there you go. At one point, he calls his wife during the filming, and Meghan says, "Hi, friend." And I just thought, oh my God, that is always the fakest person who says that. It's always someone who really doesn't care about you, who says, "Hi, friend." And the wife, who is apparently an author who's appeared on the show previously, I don't remember her, replies to Meghan, "Hi, mama." And I was just like, the relationship between these two is truly, truly awful. And they then go on to make Christmas crackers. And Meghan announces that Christmas crackers are these very unique British traditions. Now, actually, a lot of other people in countries around the world will question that. And she also says that crackers are for two things: for putting in sweets. No, I mean, are you crazy? The chocolate would end up melting. And also for confetti, which is like, seriously, you do not want your kids pulling crackers and confetti going all over the house on Christmas Day. So I'm like, she hasn't even understood the concept of Christmas crackers. But of course, for Meghan, the Christmas cracker is not a Christmas cracker. It's about love, isn't it? And I have to be honest, I felt truly queasy when I was watching both of them fake away to each other and talking about how it doesn't really matter what we're attaching to the cracker, because what we're actually attaching to the cracker is love. And that's when Meghan yet again shows which child she really loves, right? Because you see the pride on her face when she's talking about her daughter, and she says, Lily really likes trying to be a grown-up lady at the moment. And then literally a couple of minutes later, she's like, oh, now I'm on to Archie and he's into burgers and the colour red. And I'm like,
Color red.
wow.
He likes the color red.
Sidley's right. I was like, Nancy and Stephanie, there is no love. There is no love for Archie. It was so obvious in this moment. And she writes the little notes, doesn't she, which are clearly going to Lily. I love you because you're so kind. I love you because you're so brave. And I'm just like, I can't cope. I cannot cope. It was the worst part of the show with this weirdo Will. What did you think?
The crackers were also very infuriating because she goes, well, I did live in the UK. And
We used to do
she said they would always have them. Who's they, Meghan? Who's they? You spent like 2 Christmases with the royal family. You know exactly who they is.
They
Okay.
are.
Or they are, whatever. But like, I was furious when I heard that. That made me really upset. Well, living in the UK,
And we
did
would do
crackers.
it like this. We would just go
It's the
like,
hold
we'd
hand.
hold hands and then go boo boo.
Yeah.
And it's clearly
Yeah,
her
but the color
trying
red
to
was-
give some type of insight, isn't it, into life within the royal family? Because of course,
Yeah, but
Yes,
that
is
guy,
yes.
how they
but
would have
I
pulled the
agree with you.
crackers at
That guy
Santringham.
was really weird.
Weirdo.
I mean, the way he let her finish the sentences for him, and
and she,
I don't
and-
remember his wife.
No,
at all.
I don't. I feel sorry for his wife. Put it that way.
Yeah.
But it was awful.
did-
They were like backing each other up, weren't they? And sort of like it was awful woke-topian rubbish. Anyway, then we move on. To the BFFs, right? So we've got Lindsay Jill Roth, who is the blonde friend who appeared in the Netflix documentary bigging Meghan up. And it's really one of the only friends that she has kept from university. Not school, by the way, even though she says, oh, we've been friends since we were 17. And of course, Kelly Zashven, who's always there, isn't she? And they turn up in the red pajamas to make a festive cinnamon star and then a wreath. And P-Dina, when I was watching, I was just like, everything she makes is so labored. And it is so obvious she's had to do this multiple times. But Lindsay Jill Roth and Kelly Zashven are the worst type of friends because they're the enablers, aren't they? They're the ones who like are saying, oh, this is wonderful, Meghan, you're so brilliant. And I get a real Mean Girl vibe between the three of them. What did you make of that connection?
I just felt like I just would not have wanted to be there. You just feel like there's this underlining competition of who's better. I'm good, you're good. We're great privileged women, and I just don't feel a comfort with them and memories and an association that makes you feel like they're cozy friends. It feels very superficial. It feels fake to me. They're just showing up to support someone that can't really ask anyone else to show up, right? And I just think Meghan shows you who she is when she brings these so-called friends. And I just did not like being in the comfort or in the area of these women. I just know I would not like them. I would just feel so much cringe with them because they just seemed very uppity to me. And like they don't want those kind of friends. We're a certain kind of people, and this is who we are. And I think there's a little bit of competition even amongst themselves. But if I must say, Dan, I really have a lot to say about what she did with Naomi. That was the one. I don't know how you want to do this, but I have a lot to say about her.
Yes,
because
okay.
A lot came out with that.
Well, let's come to Naomi. Because this is Naomi Osaka, the professional tennis player. And you'll remember she's the woman who pulled out of one of the tournaments a couple of years ago and said it was because of psychological health issues. And Meghan reached out to her, and it was apparently meant to be this friendship. I mean, it's quite interesting given Naomi Osaka sort of had this weird like friendship / professional rivalry with Serena Williams for a long time. But holy shit, Meghan makes her the worst ever snack. Like if I turned up at your house and you have made me a green crudité plate to look like a wreath for my Christmas Day treat, I'm walking out the door. But P-Dina, it was a totally odd interaction between these two, wasn't it?
Really
like, did they hate each other? What was going on?
Well, I know it because there's black girl code here that I can tell you about, okay? The one thing that she did not do, which tells you this woman has nothing to do with black people. Naomi Osaka had her hair in 2-strand twists. Meghan made not one reference to, I like your hair, girl. When you see a girl, a black girl with her hair like that, you always compliment her because that is showing that you want to come as your ethnic self. And you always support that when you see another woman wearing her hair like that. I found it very surprising that she did not do that. When she introduced her, she just said the sports girl. She made no acknowledgement to her being a tennis player, a great tennis player. She made no reference to her just having a baby and how, right after having her child, she went back to playing tennis. She has a documentary on Netflix. She talked about her clothes that she designed. She only showed the one outfit from the front and the back. Like she did not want to highlight Naomi at all. I felt a coldness. And that's why I think she got that.
And she got nothing out of her, did she, Lauren?
Nothing.
I think P-Dina is absolutely right, Lauren. It's like she's jealous that there's a real talent and a real star in the house. Like everyone else who showed up in this episode was a total no mark. Then she actually gets someone who's done something with her life, and it's total
Just nothing.
Yeah,
Naomi-
nothing. But first, have you ever actually looked at the nutrition label on a normal bag of crisps? You'll usually find a complete chemical cocktail: seed oils, MSG, artificial dyes, vague natural flavours, and a list of ingredients that reads more like a science experiment than a snack. And then we wonder why we feel bloated, tired, and frankly a bit grim after we eat them. That's why I was so interested when I discovered Massa. They're part of this growing real food movement, bringing back the kind of food our grandparents ate before snacks started being made in labs. Now, Massa's tortilla chips contain just 3 ingredients: organic, nixtamalized corn, sea salt, and 100% grass-fed beef tallow. That's it. So no seed oils, no mystery chemicals, just real food. And here's the crucial bit. They don't just avoid all the rubbish, they actually taste incredible. Snacking on Massa chips is nothing like eating regular chips. With Massa, you feel satisfied, light, and energetic. There's no crash, no bloat, no horrible sluggish feeling afterwards, because they're made with real food. They're more satisfying too. So you're not mindlessly inhaling half a family bag and still feeling hungry afterwards. And if you love Massa, you will also love their sister company, Vandy Crisps. You know how much I love crisps, but Vandy makes the most delicious 3-ingredient potato chips. Proper flavor, proper crunch, without the garbage ingredient list. So ready to give Massa or Vandy a try? You can use the code Outspoken for 25% off your first order at massachips.com or vandycrisps.com. Or it might be easier, you can simply click the link in the video description box below or scan the QR code on screen to claim this delicious offer. And for our viewers in the United States, Massa and Vandy are now available nationwide at your local Sprouts supermarket. So stop by and pick up a couple of bags before they're gone. But now, back to the show.
She looked so bored. I was watching it like, I can't believe this is actually happening. And then she said, I want to get to know her better. And I thought, hang on, I thought this was marketed as your friends and family coming for Christmas. And then Meghan didn't know how to pronounce Naomi's daughter's name. It just went from bad to worse. And Naomi was giving Meghan one-word replies. It was so cringeworthy. But Naomi then says, she likes fashion, and Meghan asks her, oh really, I didn't know you liked fashion. And Naomi says, yeah, I design all of my own outfits for Nike. And there's just this awkward silence where evidently Meghan doesn't know these people, she hasn't done the research on them, and they're just appearing in her show for a favor. It reeks of like extras. People have just been pushed by their agents to do it, to get in with Netflix.
But Nancy and Stephanie, I think also it reeks of jealousy, doesn't it? Because Naomi Osaka, she's really famous for the tennis outfits that she designs, which are daring and different and have been the talk of the fashion world in the past. So Meghan doesn't like that. And actually,
she was there to push her Nike line.
Yeah.
That's what she was there for.
And Meghan did not like that.
And Meghan didn't like that. No. Netflix was there because they have a deal with Naomi, and she was also there to push her Nike line. Meghan did absolutely no research. She did not know how to pronounce her daughter's name, Shy. And then she pulls a Lloyd Braun with Naomi. Did you guys notice that? It's from Seinfeld. When Naomi goes with the thing, she goes, am I crazy? And Meghan goes, no, you're not crazy. You're not crazy. You're kind. And it was like,
no, I was just making a joke.
No, you're not crazy. It's like, what? Oh my God. Like, why would she say it like that?
But especially now that Meghan sort of wants to dip her toe into fashion and cosmetics. You know, when Naomi brought up the fashion line, you could just see Meghan's face just went, wait, it was like, oh God.
Yeah.
Now you're intruding in my space, honey.
And she's probably really pressed because she couldn't get Serena. I think
Yeah.
she's
yeah.
pressed over that.
Serena
too.
didn't
Yeah.
show up. But look, it was the coup that wasn't, because actually I just came away thinking these two ladies despise each other. Naomi
Oh, yeah.
Osaka
Yeah.
doesn't want to be there. She's given me nothing, and Meghan is a jealous cow. And actually it was like one of those episodes that went from like sycophancy to real, like, total who are you? Because the next person introduced is Tom Coluccio, who is the top chef judge. And Meghan actually pours a lot of praise over this guy because, of course, an older man, she's happy to compliment. Naomi Osaka, hell no. But Tom Coluccio, you know, Meghan's saying that his ideology made her who she was as a chef. And she just went on and on and on about how brilliant he is. And he just was totally unimpressed, did not give a damn about Meghan, did not give a damn about Harry, who emerges. So this is his contractual obligation, Lauren Lund-Farrow, 5 minutes towards the end of the episode. And immediately the relationship between Harry and Meghan is exposed. Meghan mothers him. It's weird. She says at one point when they're talking about the food, she goes, "Oh, my mum does that for you without the fish. Oh, he's gonna need a towel for when he sweats for the hot food." Like, she's babying him. And it made me realize, Lauren, Meghan Markle treats Prince Harry like her child. The interaction was super weird. And he's also scared of her, of course, because later on he makes a joke once he's tasted the gumbo, but he knows he has to say this. He says, "It's delicious. I'm not quite sure it's as good as your mum's, but it's certainly close." And it's like, you know, you had to say that. What did you make of his 5 minutes of awkwardness, Lauren?
Well, I thought it was interesting that obviously Netflix predictably put him at the end of the episode to make sure that people watched until the end.
Because they need watch time, yeah.
Yeah, he just looked like a kind of a schoolboy coming in, trying his mum's cooking. And then it's like looking at her like, "Can I talk yet?" There was no chemistry. He's still as stupid and as boring as he's always been. But I hate making jibes at people where it would seem nasty, but I just couldn't stop looking at his thinning hair. And I feel like that's a nasty thing to say, but it's true. He doesn't look like he's aging well.
Well, they've done the dirty on him. They've done the dirty on him
Yeah.
because the lighting is so bad that it is focused on the crown. So it actually accentuates the fact that he was balding. P-Dina, what did you make of the interaction between Harry and Meghan on camera? Because for me, it was the worst we've seen yet.
I just think it felt like he's there to make her look good and to make their relationship look like all is well. It really doesn't feel like an authentic marriage relationship. It just seems like he's there to do something that she begged him to do. I think it falls flat, especially when you do all these things around your children. There's no children, obviously. And to me, Meghan just looks like she's pulling in her husband to sell, to use him, because we have to remember that she only has this show because of Harry. There's no way she would have gotten this Netflix show because she would have not been able to have carried it or get in the door. And so he is the reason why she even has a show. And also, why was her mother not there? You know, you talk about family, you couldn't even
It's your
bring in
Christmas
your mother.
special.
But
Exactly.
she couldn't even mention, I mean, what happened to the family in Tennessee? She talked about her mother's family in Tennessee as well. You know, she did nothing to show her ethnic side. That's what I have a problem with, because you want to call racism, but you don't do the things that someone who is of color would do.
100%.
Really.
But that is, in all honesty, because she is a Markle. She doesn't want to admit it, but
Yes.
she is a Markle. And her upbringing was as a white member of the Markle family, but that doesn't suit the
Right.
narrative. So, of course, she can't talk about her Christmas. I mean, I found it so desperate that the only person she could actually refer to was Miss Linda, her elementary school math teacher. It's like, holy crap, that's what you're having to grasp to. Sidley, can I just say as well, I still hate watching Meghan eat. Like, she's not a nice eater.
No.
She didn't wash her hands once. The only time I saw her run her hands was when she got the chocolate in it. But yeah, Salmonella Sussex, I think, is going to be around for a long time. But what I love about Harry more than anything in this episode is this was filmed in the spring of 2024 and it was awkward and uncomfortable. Imagine trying to do something now with those two.
Just
I
wouldn't
mean, with
happen.
everything that's happened.
Yeah.
I mean, they still thought back then that Kamala was going to win. Everybody was going to be like with this joyful Oprah craziness,
Delusional confidence.
everyone was going to love them. And I mean, talk about a fall from grace. So I do like watching these, knowing it was filmed back then. I even wrote it. I go, it tickles me.
Yes, it does.
But one thing I want to say about the Tom Colicchio scene is that how rude of Meghan to shine a light on the fact that Harry hates Tom's dish.
Everything, the fish, the beets, everything.
If my husband or boyfriend or whatever partner would say that in front of the chef, I would be like, why did you just say that?
Yeah. Our mom and dad and grandma, they taught us, like, if you go into somebody's house, even if you don't want to try it, you're trying it.
Yeah,
whether you
just
like it or
try
not,
it.
you're trying
But
it.
they went as far, Harry and Meghan went as far as going, oh yeah, I hate that food.
I know.
That was that rude.
It
to
was
a
super
chef.
rude. It was super rude. And I think he had no time for them, actually. I really think
he
Tom
didn't.
was like, I have no time for these guys. Now, of course, Nancy and Sidley, as you have been pointing out, it is also hilarious that other celebrities have used Meghan's big drop day to say, no,
Yes.
Meghan, you're not going to own this day. I mean, firstly, by the way, Netflix itself dropped the big P. Diddy 50 Cent documentary last night.
I know.
And certainly I started watching that last night and looking at my Netflix, even though I had added With Love Meghan to my list, because obviously I knew I was going to be watching with you ladies today, Netflix did no promotion whatsoever. Like, it was way, way down the home
I had to
screen.
look for it. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Well, it was only in my list. It was like nowhere
Yeah.
else. So you've got that going on. Then you've got the fact that both Kim Kardashian and Gwyneth Paltrow, her two recent rivals, even though they pretend to be friends, are actually crashing the party. Nancy, you posted Kim Kardashian is the GOAT, December the 3rd, hashtag Meghan Who, hashtag Salmonella Sussex. And Stephanie, you added, a lot of people think Meghan Markle will appear on Kim Kardashian's Christmas special. If I know anything about the Kardashians, this was a last-minute attempt to screw with Meghan. Kim did not have to pick a December the 3rd drop. And then it got even worse, Stephanie, because you pointed out that Gwyneth Paltrow is also being honoured today at a new event. So, I mean, come on, this does look deliberate, does it not?
Dan, I'm going to buy a lottery ticket today.
Yeah.
December 3rd.
December 3rd is going to be a good day. No, I mean, they are trying to bury this. I mean, the powers that be are just trying to bury this. It was a terrible special. I really thought there was going to be pickup shots.
I thought maybe the kids.
I
Who
mean,
knows?
I was giving her the benefit of the doubt. This
It
was
was
horrible. And you know what else? What
boring.
was insane about it? After I was done watching the 51 minutes, it felt like 8 hours.
Yeah.
It was so dragged
But
out.
Kim Kardashian's coming out with this TikTok special, this Christmas special. It's going to be live. I believe it's 6:30 Pacific
I don't know.
time.
Don't give her any. Yeah, we don't need to
No,
give Kim.
I'd rather
anything.
give Kim than Meghan, but I just think it's just ironic that the whole Kris Jenner birthday party debacle thing happened, and then suddenly Kim's coming out
Yeah.
on the day of Meghan's drop.
On
They
the
don't
day.
do anything by accident. The
They don't
Kardashians.
do
Exactly.
anything by
And by
accident,
the
yeah.
way, if you're truly their friend, they
Mhm.
don't try and compete. And they
No,
are.
no.
And Lauren, what
Yeah.
I've been noticing with Meghan over the past 24 hours is, she's reacting to this report, which we covered on the show yesterday from Rob Shooter of Shooter Scoop, saying, look, I just give up after that Turkey video went so badly wrong. So what we saw was like an almost crazed push on her Instagram account. Like, so firstly, she was offering like a 20% off discount. Then she was posting like a video of chocolate. Like, what was that about? Suggesting there's going to be some new chocolate drop. Then she posted more behind the scenes pictures from the Harper's Bazaar shoot, which is already viewed as a bit of a disaster, Lauren. It's like there's no strategy ever. Like if you were her PR, you would be wanting to strangle her at this point, wouldn't you?
Yeah, so I've consistently said they can pay as many people for PR as they want, but they are never going to consistently get good press. People doesn't count because that's just propaganda rubbish that Meghan has probably written herself. But it was interesting that she started to push the Harper's Bazaar cover again. And within those Insta stories was a Insta story where she had met with the stylist and tried on looks. And this just reinforces the fact that she planned to rip the Diana look off on the floor. It shows how sinister that is. And obviously, the show has come out to widespread 1-star reviews, apart from People and Harper's Bazaar. So, you know, those are two media outlets that everyone needs to absolutely ignore because they're, you know, controlled by the Sussexes, in my opinion. But Meghan will never, this is the end of the road for her now. This is the final end.
Yes.
Because when you sell something to the public and it doesn't resonate, you don't get continued shots to keep doing it. Will she do a makeup line with someone like Victoria Jackson? Maybe, but it won't sell. You know, there is no appetite for her. And she has gone out on the worst possible Christmas special that, for me, it makes hardworking mothers feel like they're not enough. And this is where Meghan has always gone wrong with her brand. Had she actually done something that she was vaguely interested in, like yoga and something like Lululemon, maybe she would have had some marginal success. Highly unlikely because she is who she is. But the fact that she has tried to rip off Martha Stewart and has not put the groundwork in and just wants people's money, people can see that. And so she's now left with egg on her face, with a deal that has ended with Netflix, white label jam that she's selling in a back room at Soho House for half a day, probably driving it to and from, drop it off with Marcus. You know, he's there with the card machine, but it won't get used, obviously. And there's no appetite for this. So Meghan Markle, this is the end for her now. And this is what happens when you try and fake it. The public don't like it and the public deserve more.
Oh my God. Total damning indictment from Lauren the Insider, but I agree with every word. This was not a Christmas, this was a fake miss. And that doesn't work. There was no authenticity whatsoever. Netflix knows it. They know that Meghan Markle has produced the biggest turkey in their history. All that money, all those opportunities, and it resulted in this. So Lauren is completely right. It is the end of the road for Meghan Markle's TV career. There will be new desperate moves. There will be new desperate social media plays. But her opportunity to be a global TV star is completely ruined, and by God, she deserves it. But my royal masterminds are staying with me right now because we're going to move over to Substack, because it wasn't just Meghan who was having a disastrous day. We have inside footage and inside details and inside photos that Prince Harry tried to ban from his Ontario pay-for-play appearance. This is quite something. We're going to get into it all, reveal it all with P-Dina, the Sidley Twins, and Lauren the Insider over on Substack. You can join in right now if you want to, using our mega Black Friday discount. We've never done a discount this big, 35% off for the festive season. Special address if you do want to sign up, www.danwootenoutspoken.com/sale. That's danwootenoutspoken.com/sale. Of course, you can sign up to Substack completely for free, but if you do go for that paid monthly or annual membership, it's your opportunity to watch our uncancelled after show every single weekday with no advertising whatsoever. First, either live or on demand, whichever you prefer. So I do hope to see you over there shortly. Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.